What's up guys, this is the Guitar Gent coming at you with a new video. This is a new format for the channel, hopefully you'll enjoy this. Guys, it's basically first of all an update on my reaction and first impression on the latest EP from LOVEBITES, Glory Glory to the World, and we did some sort of a listening party. We listened to the whole thing together, start to finish. And I gave you, some of my first impressions when it comes to each and every song of DP. Now I wanted to give you a bit more of a, let's call it an updated impression, of course, because I've been sitting and listening to this EP much more, of course, compared to the first listen. It's been almost a week now since I recorded that video, and give you, a little bit of a deeper musical analysis on some specific sections. Maybe, I have the guitar here showcasing some of my favorite riffs from the songs. I would love to say some of the favorite solos, but I'm afraid I'm not yet to the level at which I can just learn by ear in a couple of days these kind of guitar solos. Anyway, guys, really, first of all, I want to say that I confirm my first impression. This is a wonderful EP. The level that these ladies have achieved with this EP is very high. As I said, I still haven't listened to a full LP, to a full record from LOVEBITES, because of course I've been doing the reaction videos and I've been listening song to song, let's say, skipping from record to record and everything. This was the first time that I actually had the chance to sit down with let's say, a full body of work from them. And that was extremely rewarding, an extremely rewarding experience. So I can only imagine how listening to a full record would actually be. The level and the variety and the I want to say the risks, the musical risks that they've taken compared to what I had listened from them before is extremely satisfying. I want to touch on every single song again very quickly. And give you an updated impression, of course, when it comes to each and every single song. Starting, of course, with Glory to the World. Glory to the World was one of the two singles. As you all know, guys, Glory to the World and Winds of Transylvania. Glory to the World still to this day is a fantastic song, and so it's Winds of Transylvania. It's kind of hard to find let's say, the worst song on the EP. It's kind of hard. I'll tell you what I think it is, but it's by no means a negative judgment on the song, but it's not Glory to the World. Glory to the World has this very uplifting message, something that I said both during the first listen when the single came out and the second listen, let's say, it wasn't the second, but you know what I mean, during the listening party. It has this very uplifting melody, it has this superhero vibe, basically. I absolutely love the riff in this song, but especially, as I mentioned many times at this stage, my favorite part of this is the lead guitar that echoes the vocals during the chorus. I think that's a fantastic move. It adds such an interesting touch to the song. I absolutely love that. You know what I mean, guys. This is such a classic riff with the descending pattern, with these that always builds up. You can tell even by these little things that there is a strong influence from classical music in the training. You can tell that just because of the way that they build anticipation for every single following step, for every single following chord. So you go from, I don't know the technical names of these things, but that's why I'm showcasing them to you, so that you can see what I mean. You go from this to this, and this builds anticipation for, and then again, it's just a very smart way of building up a descending riff. And then there is, of course, that fantastic section in the chorus where the vocal melody goes something along the lines of, and the guitar just follows with the, It's like a duet between the vocals and the guitar that grows as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful little touch that, again, it's my favorite section of the song. Overall, it's a fantastic song, one of the strongest on the EP, I think. And again, this very uplifting message, this very uplifting tone to the song, it just makes you feel empowered in many ways. And then we move to No Time to Hesitate, which is the thrasher, let's say, on the record. It's fantastic. Again, this was at the first listen, this was my favorite on the record, just on the EP, because it's by far the easiest one to enjoy. It's let's say it's more simple than the other ones. It's very direct and everything. It's still fairly complex, and from you guys told me this was written like with a very short time notice, just because they wanted another track like this to add to the EP, which is impressive. Because it came out absolutely gorgeously. This is a very Judas Priest influenced song, I think. It really gives me those vibes. You have, of course, the main riff that is just fantastic. I think that in the recording there they have the guitars tuned down to a D instead of an E standard, or at least a drop, because the first chord sounds like a complete D chord tuned down and not just like a D on an E, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic song. That's one of my favorite riffs when it comes to the record. Again, it's very easy to enjoy. It's not as complex as some of the other ones that we were going to get ourselves into, but it's a phenomenal song. I'm so glad that they added this to the EP, because it adds that extra layer of variety as well. Because again, it's the one with the strongest influences, I think, in that sort of heavy metal and thrash metal as well. There are many thrash metal riffs throughout the EP, but this one, again, it's the most direct, the most dynamic song on the EP. I love this. And then we moved on to Paranoia. Now, Paranoia, if I have to pick my least favorite song on the EP, that would be Paranoia, and that's just for one reason. It's a conflicting song, because it has probably my favorite guitar solos, and it has my favorite riff. It's a fantastic riff in this song, guys. It's so aggressive. But it has my least favorite chorus. I don't know why. I think that the transition from the verse to the chorus is also very well done, but the chorus in it of itself, it just doesn't do it for me as much. Again, it's a fantastic song. I enjoy listening to it so much, but it's probably, again, if I really have to pick, like, my least favorite song on the EP, that would be Paranoia. And again, guys, it's a fantastic song, so this tells a lot about the level of the EP in general. This specific riff is just so... It's just so Metallica. It's so Metallica from the 80s. You know, that thrash scene. It's fantastic. It sounds like something out of Master of Puppets. And I think that there is a recurring theme of referring to Master of Puppets in a way. At least if I think about Metallica, there are, of course, very strong influences throughout the whole thing. As I said, Judas Priest, there are your usual suspects like Iron Maiden and Halloween. There is Megadeth as well, especially in the guitar solos, I feel. Even something out of Slayer rulebook, let's say, in guitar solos in towards the end of Dystopia Symphony, if I remember correctly. There is one dissonant guitar solo which is fantastic. Guys, again, this is a wonderful song, don't get me wrong, but if I do have to pick my least favorite on the EP, that would be this one. And then we move on to the in-discussed masterpiece of the record, guys, Dystopia Symphony. Dystopia Symphony is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal composition. As I said during the reaction, this is not a song, it's a composition. Because again, the level of thought, the level of... I don't even know how to describe this. It's like there are so many different layers, there are so many different parts, there are so many different influences, musical references. It's just such a beautiful and complex piece of music. It's unparalleled, unmatched of like by far on the EP. I think it's on another level. Like everything is very strong. All the songs are extremely strong and enjoyable, but Dystopia Symphony takes it to another level altogether. It's a phenomenal composition, guys. Here we have, again, as I said, there are, I think, some Metallica influences, but what I mean by that is more the epic side of Metallica. It's like if you think about the first records, especially, like Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets, there were some more progressive elements to their songwriting that then they took that to an extreme with Justice for All. Even though the production of that record always kind of kills that for me a little bit. But yeah, there is, if you think about Master of Puppets, or if you think about Battery, so even the faster ones as well, there is always a very thoughtful composition with various sections, a lot of riffs throughout the song. It's just a fantastic songs, and there is a reason why that's considered to be their best work ever. My personal favorite from Metallica is Ride the Lightning, but you know what I mean. It's just widely considered a masterpiece. They took that direction, I think, with Dystopia Symphony specifically, adding some extra layers when it comes to progressive and symphonic, let's say classical symphonic elements. So you have the Dream Theater element as well. Dream Theater, as I said, more of the symphonic Dream Theater. So if I think about, there is, again, as I mentioned during the reaction, there is the self-titled record from Dream Theater, which manages to bring in a lot of elements together very well, I think, with even the last song that's called Illumination Theory, I think. It's like a 24 minutes composition with classical passages and everything. It's just, it works. It's a fantastic song, but of course, this manages to achieve that in 6 minutes. How long is that song? It's phenomenal, and especially it doesn't feel rushed. Like there are so many different sections, they don't feel rushed, but they cover so much, as I mentioned. It's just fantastic, guys. This is by far the best on the EP. I won't say that this is my favorite Love Bite song that I've heard so far. That's kind of a hard call. It's very difficult to think about that. I probably will need to listen, but again, I don't necessarily like to just pick one song to say, this is my favorite song from a band. It just, when there is so much amazing music, why pick when we can listen to everything? And to me, as a guitar player, the most interesting and probably my favorite section of the song when it comes just to the guitar, because there are so many fantastic sections, the chorus, all the various transitions, the lovely part with the piano as well on the background is just fantastic. But as a guitar player, the thing that really that stands out to me is the final section, the coda of the song. I want to call that a coda because, again, there are many analogies with a classical music composition, so I think that's also appropriate to use that terminology, where the rhythmic guitar just plays your standard verse riff, like with it's on a different tuning. I think it's this one as well, it's tuned to D, but more or less. But the very interesting part is what the lead guitar adds onto that. It's just fantastic. It's so interesting. That's this vibe that matches the song perfectly, and again, it has such a strong classical music influence. It's referencing something that I'm not even sure what it is in this stage. Like, I can't really pinpoint that. I mean, the Beethoven references throughout the whole thing are just evident. I'm not sure if this is a specific reference to Beethoven's catalog, but it's just a phenomenal piece of music, guys, honestly. Unmatched. Phenomenal song. And then we close with Winds of Transylvania. Winds of Transylvania it's another Thrasher song, let's say. It's a bit less complex, even though it has way more sections than No Time to Hesitate. So it has a little bit more of a complex structure. I honestly prefer listening to this without the music video, which I found a bit distracting. That's something also as well that we were discussing during the premiere of the listening party. Like, it's better probably to just listen to this song without looking at that, especially the guy in the video which is doing I don't know exactly what. But yeah, guys, phenomenal song as well to close off the EP. It's, I've talked about this a lot as well, just like Glory to the World, so um, I won't spend too much time on this, but it's just a fantastic riff, a fantastic song altogether. The guitar solos are mental in this one. Again, my favorite guitar solos are probably in Paranoia, also with the guitar tone, but Winds of Transylvania is a fantastic song as well, with some fantastic solos and everything. It's perfect also to close the EP with the way that they actually bring it home, basically, when they close everything. It's a fantastic EP, guys. What I mentioned about the guitar tone makes me jump to the next point, which is for me the production. Production in this EP is fantastic, honestly. The fact that you guys told me that this EP was produced, let's say, while social distant, while adhering to social distancing and stuff like that, so they weren't together in the same studio. They just recorded their separate part and then sent them for mixing and mastering to the same guys, I think, that do the Nightwish, or at least, in the Scandinavian and Nordics metal scene. And they're fantastic. Those are probably some of the best metal producer in the world right now. And you can tell everything, it's just so fantastically produced. From the vocals, they just jump. They're so punchy. It's fantastic. To the guitar tones, fantastic. The drums, I want to touch upon a little bit on the drums as well. I didn't touch on that much during the listening party, but going back and listening to this, wow, it's a fantastic tight job from the rhythmic section. Bass and drums are fantastic. Again, they're the fundamental of all their music. It's like, if you take away that element and you replace it with something a bit sloppier or a bit less complex or a bit less nuanced, it just takes away so much from the final result. So always, guys, even when something doesn't jump to your ear when it comes to bass and drums, always think that's like, those performances are what allow the guitar players, for example, to go crazy. It's a fantastic job. So overall, guys, production is magnificent. The songwriting is just on another level, especially in Dystopia Symphony. It's a masterpiece. That's the appropriate word, I think, to describe that. It's such a strong release. It's something I mentioned as well. If you guys told me that they don't release EPs, let's say that they release transitionary EPs, so between a record and the other record, so they don't put songs that they have on an EP on the next record as well. That makes me think that probably we won't get a full release this year also, because now, thankfully, they started touring again in Japan. Probably next year, I guess, considering the rate and the amount of musical output in the Japanese scene. I'd imagine next year we're going to get a full EP. But this gets me so excited about that release as well, because they explore so many different there are so many different influences, and they are adding, as I mentioned at the beginning, they're adding an element of risk. Like, they're taking risks with this, and they're pushing the envelope further, especially with this Dystopia Symphony and the amount of progressive elements that they're bringing in, which has me so excited, because, again, if they do that on a more consistent basis, I think that Lovebites can achieve a whole another level, because the talent is there 100%. The songwriting skills, absolutely, especially Miyako. It's just, you can tell that there is that classical training and classical influences and everything, and that helps so well, especially in this genre of metal, to make your music stand out from the rest. So overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. A little bit of updated. I don't want to call this a review. It's more of an updated thoughts about this. I mean, I guess you can call this a review. Probably call the video review just for the sake of it, but again, I'm not a reviewer, I'm just a music listener. I'm not a music critic or anything. I just like to listen to music and point out things that stand out to me, and possibly, you know, make them appreciate a bit more, to you guys as well. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Let me know if this is a format that you enjoy, especially with the guitar. Again, I almost always have a guitar in my hand, except for when I do reaction videos. So, you know, if this is something that you enjoy, I am working on that other series. It's gonna be something like why I love this song. Again, with us, let's say you can say the influence, if you're familiar with Rick Beato's channel, is what makes this song great. That's kind of along the lines of what I want to do, again, on a different way, because I'm more of a guitar player, so the focus is gonna be a bit more on that and on this songwriting, and a bit less on production because I don't have the masters. But that's the idea for the channel moving on, and of course keeping also the guitar covers, the reactions and everything. I want to thank you for tuning in again. Hopefully I will publish this on Sunday, and I'm going to record straight after this a reaction for Bandmate. Very excited about that, our Made Mondays series. Guys, extremely appreciative of your time as always. If you like this, if you want to see more of this, please let me know in the comments. And if you decide to stick around, then hit the subscribe button if you aren't already part of the community. I really do appreciate that. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you very soon with the next one. Bye.